think every artist looks for ways to express themselves and their own story or their own feelings and likes and dislikes. To unearth and rediscover what had been basically a lost art of photography was just exciting. I guess I'm a traditionalist and that I want to make a tintype exactly how it was made in the 19th century.
Come by. Come by.
I got interested in old pictures from a little kid, you know, as far as my aunt giving me a tintype of my great-great-grandfather and just marveling over this picture on a piece of tin. Wow, how unique, you know. The tintypes were always thought it was like a poor man's quick portrait. The idea that one would be considered high art would have been laughable back then. This lens is 1860s lens, a Dalmar 3B. I can't really use a light meter with this kind of photography. I have to guess my exposure constantly. Now we come back to the dark box here and we'll be pouring collodion onto the tin plate. Sort of a syrupy looking material. That's the plate holder here. The plate's going to lay in this area here, suspended by the corners. This will go to the camera. Once it's on the camera, then I can pull the dark slide out. Turn your head to the left just a little bit. Chin up a little. And prepare to make my exposure by removing the lens cap. Your mark. Get set. Go. And then it's developed in an iron sulfate solution. I got it right as far as exposure, I think, and composition. What was sort of a cloudy negative image would just sort of come out of the haze and turn into a beautiful positive image right there before your eyes. It's really magical. Photography's always been a magical thing, you know, from the first time I watched a print come up in the developing tray. I see it as another dimension in a way too. I would set up anywhere and everywhere when I was on the road. It was a novelty. Kids would be running out and they'd be jumping up and down and clapping. It was like a born-again experience. I never saw this country until I went out on the wagon. I didn't really want to settle down, but I had a wife and she was getting tired of the road life. Pulled on this property just like a pioneer would have done, and then started cutting trees down to build my cabin. Never been one of those people that just sat down one day and said, I'm going to be self-sufficient. If anything I decided I was going to do is I'm not going to have any bills. I still don't have a phone and I still don't have a car. I've been driving a horse and wagon a lot more years than I ever drove a car. I have homemade electric. So many things are homemade here. I just gravitate towards that sort of thing. This is the fountain of life here for me. That goes to show that you don't necessarily have to go to the other side of the globe to make nice images. And sometimes they're right there in your front yard.
Oh, come get your cookie!
I don't feel like I'm burning out with it at all. It's constantly discovering new things about it and new things I can do with it, and the process is just never ending. This is what I call the Tintype movie. Each exposure was like 2 or 3 seconds. I mean, there's just a beautiful flow there with only 15 images. When I shot my first Tintype, I was overjoyed to know that, the tones are just like the originals. And of course that let me know too that a well-made Tintype from the 19th century didn't change any. There's this connection with our ancestors. This is my life. I wouldn't do it any other way.